There are moments in life where everything seems unclear. You may feel lost or unsure of what lies ahead, but what if I told you that God is preparing you for something greater? Yes, God is orchestrating something far beyond your imagination. The challenges, delays, and even the uncertainties you are experiencing right now are all part of His grand design. He's shaping you, refining you, and getting you ready for a purpose that exceeds your current understanding. Your story is not over. God is actively working behind the scenes, molding you into the person you need to be for the greatness He has set before you. When you look back at the struggles you've faced, it's easy to question why things didn't go as planned. But have you ever considered that God was using those very moments to prepare your heart for something much bigger? Every disappointment, every closed door, and every trial were not wasted. They were tools in God's hands, refining you for a greater purpose. He sees the bigger picture that we often cannot. Trust that He is using even your toughest moments to prepare you for a future that is brighter than you could ever imagine. It's natural to feel weary when things don't seem to be working out. But what if your current waiting season is God's way of getting you ready? Waiting doesn't mean that nothing is happening. In fact, it's in these seasons of waiting that God is doing some of His best work. He's not only preparing the future for you, He's preparing you for the future. You might not see the fruits of it now, but behind the scenes, God is molding your character, building your faith, and equipping you with the tools you'll need for the journey ahead. Sometimes God prepares us through moments of discomfort. The pain, the struggles, the growing pains, these are often signs that you're on the verge of something greater. Just like a diamond is formed under pressure, so are you. God allows certain challenges in your life, not to break you, but to make you stronger. He's sharpening your resolve and stretching your capacity so that when your time comes, you'll be more than ready. You won't just survive. You'll thrive. Every hard season is God preparing you for the blessings that are coming your way. Have you ever been in a place where everything seemed to fall apart, only to later realize that God was actually clearing the way for something better? Sometimes, the greatest blessings come disguised as setbacks. What looks like the end of the road may very well be the beginning of something extraordinary. God is never caught off guard. He uses what the enemy meant for evil and turns it for your good. The delay you're experiencing is not denial. It's divine preparation. God is getting everything in place for your next season of victory. One of the hardest things to accept is that preparation often requires letting go. God may ask you to release certain things, people or situations that are no longer part of His plan for your life. It can feel painful, but remember that pruning is necessary for growth. Just like a gardener cuts back branches to allow for healthier growth, God sometimes removes things from our lives so we can flourish. He's not taking things away to hurt you. He's making room for something better. Trust Him in the process. There's no growth in the comfort zone. God is stretching you because He wants to expand your capacity. Every step you take outside of your comfort zone is a step closer to the greater purpose He has for you. It's easy to stay where it's safe, but God knows that in order to fulfill the big plans He has for you, you need to be stretched. So when you feel uncomfortable or uneasy, don't shrink back. Lean into the growth process. God is enlarging your territory, and with it comes new opportunities, new blessings, and new responsibility. God's timing is perfect even when it doesn't match our own. What you're going through right now may feel like a delay, but it's actually a season of preparation. When you're waiting for that breakthrough or that answered prayer, remember that God is not withholding anything from you. He's preparing you to handle it. If He gave you everything you wanted right now, you might not be ready for it. But in His perfect timing, you will step into the purpose He has prepared for you. In the journey of preparation, God will also teach you patience. It's not an easy lesson, but it's a necessary one. When you're in the middle of a trial, it's hard to see how God is working all things together for your good. But his word reminds us that those who wait upon the Lord will renew their strength, Isaiah 40:31. God is building your endurance, your resilience, and your trust in him. He's teaching you to rely on his strength and timing rather than your own. And when the time is right, he will reveal his greater purpose for your life. During this time of preparation, it's important to stay connected to God through prayer and his word. Your relationship with him is the foundation for everything he's preparing you for. It's in those quiet moments with God that you gain clarity, strength, and direction. When you feel lost or unsure, seek him. He's always there, guiding you even when you can't see the full picture. Every prayer you whisper, every moment you spend in his presence is part of your preparation for something greater. When you think about God preparing you for a greater purpose, remember that his plans are always bigger than our own. Sometimes we limit ourselves by thinking too small, focusing only on what we see in front of us. But God sees beyond today. He sees your tomorrow, your future, and all the possibilities you haven't even imagined yet. He's preparing you for opportunities that will stretch you, for blessings that will stretch you, for blessings that will overwhelm you in the best possible way. Trust that his vision for your life is far greater than anything you could plan for yourself. God knows exactly what you need to fulfill your purpose. He's not just preparing the opportunities, he's preparing you to be ready for them. Every lesson learned, every trial overcome, every moment of growth is equipping you for the path he has laid out before you. Just like an athlete trains before the big game, God is training you for the purpose he has ordained for your life. Each step you take now, even in uncertainty, is a step towards something much bigger than you realize. It's important to remember that God's preparation isn't always about doing. Sometimes it's about becoming. He's more interested in your character than your comfort. Before he elevates you, he works within you to shape the person you need to be, to handle the responsibility of your calling. He's growing your patience, your humility, and your faith in ways you might not even notice. So when you feel like you're not doing enough, trust that God is doing a deep work within you that will manifest in due time. When you encounter setbacks, remember that even delays are part of God's preparation. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't happen on our timeline, but God is always on time. Sometimes he allows delays to teach us dependence on him, to develop our character, or to align things in the spiritual realm that we cannot yet see. Don't let the delays discourage you. Know that they are part of God's intricate plan, preparing you for the right opportunity at the right time. As God prepares you for a greater purpose, he may also realign your priorities. What used to matter to you might start to feel less important as God shifts your focus toward his plan. You might find yourself more drawn to prayer, more inclined to serve others, or more focused on growing spiritually. This realignment is intentional. God is preparing you to walk in his purpose, and that often means setting aside distractions, and focusing on what truly matters. God's preparation also involves community. He will bring people into your life who will encourage, guide, and support you in this season. These people are not by accident. They are part of his plan. Whether they challenge you to grow or comfort you in times of need, recognize that God often uses others to help prepare us for our destiny. Surround yourself with those who speak life into you, who help you stay focused on God's promises. These relationships are part of the divine preparation for what's ahead. In your season of preparation, don't forget to celebrate the small victories. Sometimes we focus so much on the big picture that we overlook the steps we've already taken. God is with you every step of the way, and each small win is part of the greater plan he has for your life. Take time to acknowledge how far you've come, even if you're not where you want to be yet. Each step of progress is a sign that God is at work and he's preparing you for what's next. The enemy will often try to discourage you in this time of preparation. He'll whisper lies that you're not good enough, that your past disqualifies you, or that you'll never see the fulfillment of God's promises. But remember, God has already declared victory over your life. He has chosen you, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. The trials you face are not there to defeat you. They are there to strengthen you. Hold onto God's truth and let it be your shield against the enemy's lies. As God prepares you, He may also close doors that you once thought were meant for you. It can be hard to accept when something you've hoped for doesn't work out, but trust that God's no is always for your protection or redirection. Every closed door is a blessing in disguise, leading you closer to the door He has prepared for you. Don't mourn the doors that have closed. Rejoice, because it means you are one step closer to God's perfect plan for your life. In the process of preparation, God will refine your vision. What you once thought was your purpose may evolve as He reveals more of His plan to you. Be open to the shifts that God brings into your life. He may be expanding your influence, broadening your impact, or leading you to places you never thought you'd go. Don't be afraid of change. Embrace the new direction God is leading you, because it's all part of His greater purpose for your life. Sometimes preparation involves stillness. We live in a world that values constant movement and productivity, but God often speaks in the quiet moments. Be still and know that He is God. In the stillness, He refreshes your soul, gives you clarity, and strengthens your spirit for what's ahead. Don't confuse stillness with inactivity. Even in the quiet, as you continue on this journey, know that God's preparation is a sign of His love and care for you. He's not rushing you into anything. He's taking His time to make sure that when the moment comes, you will be ready. He is patient with you, and He asks you to be patient with His process. Trust that every step, every moment, every lesson is part of His beautiful plan for your life. You're being prepared for greatness, and God will not leave you halfway. It's important to understand that God's preparation often comes with tests of faith. These tests are not meant to break you, but to build you. They strengthen your trust in Him, deepen your reliance on His word, and solidify your foundation in Christ. When you face these tests, remember that God is with you every step of the way. He is the one who will carry you through, and as you pass each test, you become more equipped for the greater purpose He has in store. Faith and obedience are key components of God's preparation. As He prepares you, He may ask you to take steps of faith that don't always make sense. He may call you to move in a direction that seems uncertain, but trust that every act of obedience is bringing you closer to His purpose. God blesses those who follow His lead, even when they don't fully understand. Your faith in Him is what activates His blessings over your life. In the process of preparation, God will develop perseverance in you. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the journey feels too long or too hard. But God's word encourages us not to grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap a harvest. Galatians 6:9. Perseverance is key to fulfilling your purpose. God is preparing you to stand strong, to keep going when the road gets tough, and to trust that the harvest is coming. Remember that God's preparation is always connected to His promises. He is a faithful God, and every promise He has spoken over your life will come to pass. You may not see it yet, but God is aligning everything according to His will. Hold on to His promises even when the journey feels long. Every step you take is leading you closer to the fulfillment of what He has promised. Trust that His word never fails. As you continue to trust God's preparation, you will begin to see glimpses of His greater purpose for your life. It may not all unfold at once, but little by little, God will reveal His plan. Be patient with the process and celebrate the moments when His purpose becomes clear. Each step is a reminder that God is not finished with you yet. He's just getting started. The best is yet to come. God's preparation often includes moments of rest. He knows that you can't run on empty, and sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is rest in His presence. Take time to recharge, to rest in His love, and to let Him renew your strength. In the rest, you will find clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. God's preparation isn't about rushing to the finish line. It's about being fully equipped for the journey ahead. Lastly, God's preparation is personal. The way He prepares you may look different from how He prepares others. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. God knows exactly what you need, and He is preparing you in the way that is best for you. Trust that He sees you, knows you, and is working in you in a way that is unique to your purpose. Your story is unfolding according to His divine plan. As we wrap up this journey of understanding how God is preparing you for a greater purpose, remember that every moment, every challenge, and every blessing is part of His divine plan for your life. God's preparation isn't just about what lies ahead. It's also about who you are becoming in the process. Each step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward fulfilling the incredible purpose He has set for you. Embrace the journey, trust in His timing, and keep your heart open to the ways He is working in your life. God is with you, guiding you and preparing you for something magnificent. So step forward in faith, knowing that He has equipped you for every good work. Thank you for joining us today on this journey of faith and discovery. If you found encouragement in these words, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe for more uplifting messages that remind us of God's goodness and faithfulness. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. God is always with you, preparing you for greater things. We'd love to hear how God is working in your life, so feel free to share your stories in the comments below. Until next time, keep your focus on Him, stay rooted in His promises, and trust that your greater purpose is on the horizon. God bless you!